You won't believe what happened next. The show that had the whole country laughing also hit a feud so frosty it could chill a studio lot. And the woman at the center of it, Vivian Vance, the forever beloved Ethel, spent years wondering if the job that made her famous was also quietly breaking her heart. Think about it, a landmark sitcom, a tidal wave of belly laughs, and a supporting star who felt boxed in by the very role that made her a household name. On camera, Ethel Mertz was the perfect partner in crime. Off camera, Vivian was a trained stage actress who worried she'd been stamped with sidekick for life. She loved the craft, loved the audience, but hated the feeling of being overshadowed. Then there's the partnership everyone adored, Fred and Ethel. Comedy gold on screen, tension in real life. Vivian was paired with William Frawley, more than 2 decades older, and she thought the match aged her up and narrowed her range. She'd been playing leads on stage, now she feared she'd be locked into dowdy skirts and punchlines about her looks. Frawley, a tough old pro from vaudeville, wasn't exactly gentle either. Jabs flew, barbs landed. Crew members sometimes stepped in to lower the temperature. They showed up, hit their marks, and the chemistry sparkled because they were pros. But between takes, the air could get icy. When the show wrapped, things didn't thaw. There's a long whispered story that Vivian celebrated when Frawley passed, a legend that says more about how deep the rift felt than it does about provable facts. What we do know is that when a spinoff centered on Fred and Ethel was floated, Vivian flat out said no. She would rather walk away from a sure thing hit than relive that partnership. That's not just a career choice, that's self-preservation. Now, let's talk about her and Lucille Ball because that's a very different arc. At the start, Lucy wanted Ethel to be plain and middle-aged, someone who made Lucy shine brighter by contrast. Vivian was only a couple of years older and radiant on stage, so Lucy was wary. Wardrobe was dowdier, the makeup lighter, and yes, there were even nudges to soften the glam. Vivian chafed at that control, who wouldn't, but she also used it as fuel. Little by little, Lucy recognized Vivian's timing was lightning in a bottle. During live tapings, a single look from Vivian could detonate a laugh. Respect grew into trust, and trust into a real friendship. Years later, when Vivian faced cancer, Lucy called, visited, and sat with her for hours. Two women remembering the chaos, the triumphs, and the ridiculous fun of making something bigger than themselves. When Vivian died in 1979, Lucy grieved like she'd lost family because she had, and the show itself, it changed television. Desi Arnaz and Lucille Ball pushed for a 3-camera setup in front of a live audience, capturing real laughs while giving editors footage that moved like a movie. Cinematographer Carl Freund helped craft a look that felt sharp and alive. They also fought to own the negatives, which meant reruns could beam into living rooms for decades. That single business move funded a studio's future, opening doors for the trailblazing series that followed. Meanwhile, a writing team led by Jess Oppenheimer, Madeline Pugh, and Bob Carroll Jr. cooked up set pieces we still reference today. Chocolate conveyor belt, grape stomping chaos. You can see the DNA of those bits in the comedies that came later, but let's circle back to the person underneath Ethel's apron. Fame can flatten identity. People shouted Ethel at Vivian in grocery aisles. She once joked she had to remind herself she was Vivian Vance. When she joined Lucy again in a later series, she insisted her character carry a new name to carve out a little distance from the shadow of Ethel Mertz. She returned to theater when she could, chased other TV parts, and battled bouts of sadness that come from feeling stuck in one box. Still, she kept showing up and delivering. That's grit. So here's the real story behind the laughter. Vivian Vance fought for her dignity, navigated a brutal working relationship, built an unbreakable friendship with her leading lady, and helped reinvent television, all while making millions of people laugh. That's not sidekick energy. That's legacy. If this kind of classic TV deep dive hit the spot, drop your favorite Ethel moment in the comments. Tap like if you smiled even once, and subscribe for more true tales from behind the curtain. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.